So, thank you. Okay, good. So, dear ministers, excellencies, good morning to everybody in this wonderful venue. So firstly, I would like to thank our host, Jose Manuel Alvarez, not only for giving us the opportunity to meet in Barcelona today, but also for the continued support for this organization and the Mediterranean region as well. So, gracias, Ministro. Secondly, I want to underline that it's good to be with you today for two reasons. First, officially launch our new pact for the Mediterranean. We have presented this together with Dubravka already on 16th of October, but I do not consider it official until we have done it with you. And second, to do this on the 30th anniversary of the Union of the Mediterranean is a very strong message. I'm glad that we can hold the UFM forum later today. It is no secret that the European Union is on a mission to strengthen our bond with the Mediterranean region. But to think of this mission as reshaping or reinvention of our relationship, as one think tank described this, is not quite accurate because the foundations are already there. In fact, they run very deep. When we are not traveling for work, Dubravka and I, we spend a lot of time in the European headquarters in Brussels. And just an hour to the north is the Belgian city of Bruges, which tells the story of European rich historical ties with so many Mediterranean countries. Back in the Middle Ages, long before the chocolate shops and tourist cruises, Bruges was an international trading hub for Europe. It was an important transit post, perhaps the most important for goods coming through the Mediterranean to northwestern Europe. North African almonds, Damascus water, Saharan copper. Of course, the trade in goods was just a small part of Europe's exchanges across the Mediterranean. The foundations of educational changes run even deeper. The world's oldest university is Moroccan. The world's oldest libraries were in modern-day Iraq, Syria, and Iran. To cut the centuries-long story short, we do not start from scratch, but we gather together in Barcelona to discuss where we are in 2025. For example, we have now a formal regional partnership established only 30 years ago. But even in this short period, we have seen earth-shaking changes. For nearly 4 years, Europeans have faced the biggest war on our continent since 1945. I'm often asked why we are so fixated on Russia's war against Ukraine when there are so many wars and conflicts affecting us all ongoing today, especially in the Middle East. But the answer is very simple. Russia's war in Ukraine is an existential threat. If Putin is not stopped, he will not stop. In parallel, the geopolitical importance of the Mediterranean is only becoming clearer. It has also been at the top of the EU's foreign policy agenda since my first day as HRVP, from the fall of the Assad regime to the war in Gaza. Truth to be told, unchecked aggression only breeds more aggression. We all face a more dangerous and complex world than most of us have known in our lifetimes, where international rules and norms are being trampled everywhere. But I believe that we are all reaching for the same goals: peace, better lives for our people, and the chance at the progress. Amid the earth-shaking changes, we can only achieve these objectives through stronger partnerships and far more cooperation. I also believe we can only do this by working together as equals. In other words, we need to reset our relationship. The new pact for the Mediterranean is part of this reset. Take our economic relationship. the EU is already the largest trading partner for the region. Trade between the European Union and the rest of the Mediterranean has increased over 60% in the last 5 years. But our joint potential today is still huge. We are talking about sustainable blue economy, new digital infrastructure, integrating supply chains, and boosting and diversifying energy flows. When we speak about strengthening ties between our peoples, which is at the start of our reset, think about education and cultural exchanges, revived tourism and researchers working together across the sea. As Dubravka will mention, there are more than 100 new ideas and actions, from a new Mediterranean university to building artificial intelligence factories and launching a new initiative for Mediterranean startups. Our message is simple. Our current relationship is good, but we can do better, because we have done better in the past, and we must do better in the future, because the context requires it. Dear friends, my grandmother used to say, what you can't hide, you have to emphasize. In the same way, we are not glossing over the problems we see. On security, for example, we see similar challenges in the Mediterranean Sea that we see in the Baltic and Nordic seas. Shadow fleet ships pose major security risks to both our regions. This is because they help Russia circumvent sanctions to fuel its illegal war. They can be used as launch pads for drones and attacks, and they pose major environmental risks. We want to work more closely with you to resolve these issues, including through regional security forum. In practice, this means cooperation through the EU's military and civilian missions in the region, sharing situational awareness, and improved coordination on common security threats. Durable, just, lasting peace in the Middle East is another challenge that we certainly cannot and should not hide from. And I'm sure it will dominate our discussions today. Gaza's stability is a priority for us all. European Union is the largest financial backer of the Palestinian Authority and the largest humanitarian donor. Most recently, we organized the Palestinian Donor Group meeting to raise awareness also on the crucial reforms being carried out by the Palestinian Authority. We believe there is a brighter future for the Palestinian people and the region as a whole. The European Union has a role to play in supporting the peace process. I know we can bring a credible contribution that adds value if we all work together. We cannot underestimate the challenges we face, but rather seize the opportunity to work in addressing them. Dear friends, in the corner of the ancient city hall in Bruges, nestled among the frescoes representing the city's trading partners across Europe, we see Tunisia and Egypt inscribed on the wall. These references are a reminder of the glory days of Mediterranean trade. But more importantly, they call for Europe to acknowledge the deep roots between our regions and to move from history to action here and now. This is what the new Pact for Mediterranean is all about. Shukran jazilan. Thank you. Gracias. Now I give the floor to my good friend Dubravka. Please, the floor is yours.
Good morning. Thank you, Kaja, for setting the tone. Dear Jose Manuel, dear ministers, dear colleagues, dear ladies and gentlemen, this is a special moment today. 30 years after Barcelona Declaration, we are marking a new era in our collective engagement across the Mediterranean. So let me sincerely thank to all of you ministers, because also your participation demonstrates the strategic importance we all attach to strengthening our cooperation. On personal note, I was here in different capacity on the 10th anniversary of Barcelona Declaration. It was 10 plus. At that time, I was mayor of Dubrovnik. So I'm so happy and motivated to follow the work of Mediterranean. And I'm really thankful that I can work on this in different capacities. Thank you so much. So the Pact for the Mediterranean, which we are launching today, sets out a new ambitious framework of cooperation. You know that we have been working on this since day one of this mandate. In times of geostrategic and economic insecurities, we want to strengthen the relations with our trusted partners and our closest neighbors. As you know, we have not started from scratch. We have to be open and honest. We are building on the agenda for the Mediterranean from 2021. But somehow we are making a real shift. We are creating a partnership of equals. And this reinforced partnership is grounded in co-ownership and joint responsibility. We are going much more granular with the pact. As Kaja rightly said, there are more than 100 concrete initiatives and actions in order to achieve tangible results for our citizens and for our economies. And what we want to deliver is to deliver prosperity and long-term stability. I hope that all of us share these ideas. With this pact, we are creating a common Mediterranean space. Let me very briefly underline some of the flagship actions of the pact. You know that there are 3 pillars, and firstly, we are putting people at the center of the driving force of change and innovation. We will create Mediterranean University, a true common education space. We want to extend Erasmus+, providing mobility opportunities for higher education students, researchers, and academic staff. And I want to be clear, this is about brain circulation and not about brain drain. We will create a med skills tracker to recognize qualifications and experience to support job matching and mobility. We will scale up talent partnerships to promote labor mobility and skills. To ensure that young people and young voices are heard, we will establish a youth parliamentary assembly. We can create a prosperous future for the Mediterranean with its youth. And we all of us know demographic figures. And this is very close to my heart since I'm a teacher. Secondly, we want to untap the potential of our economies in all areas of common interest. So we will set up startup for MED, an ecosystem that provides access to finance, mentoring, and legal support for innovative entrepreneurs. Through tech business software, we will strengthen connectivity via Medusa and Blue Raman cables, and we will also support AI data infrastructure. On energy, which is very important for Europe and also for southern neighborhood, we will launch TMED, the Trans-Mediterranean Renewable Energy and Clean Tech Initiative. You know that there is a potential of solar, wind, and green hydrogen in the Mediterranean. The potential is enormous, so we have to use it. The initiative will create, of course, much needed jobs for young people, quality jobs, and it is the model of an investment platform where we want to bring together ready-to-go projects and public and private financing. So private financing is very important. So we can count on European Investment Bank, we can count on EBRD in order to leverage investments from the private sector. With the Blue Mediterranean Health and Wealth Initiative, we will invest in sustainable fisheries, clean seas, and maritime innovation. And the third pillar, thirdly, we are strengthening cooperation on security, preparedness, and migration management. Of course, we want to fight irregular migration, migrant smuggling through whole-of-route approach. We are devising more legal pathways for orderly and safe labor migration. With EU-MED Peace and Security Initiative, we will keep fighting terrorism and scale up prevention of radicalization. With MED-OP, we will step up operational cooperation to fight organized crime, bringing the law enforcement and judicial cooperation closer. On preparedness to natural disasters, we are going to support the development of hazard early warning systems and establish a European firefighting hub. Dear colleagues, dear ministers, all these initiatives and actions from the Pact need to be delivered. This is what is very important, and this is the difference from earlier agenda for the Mediterranean. We want to make these actions, to make them to be implementable. And this is why our services are working together with your services on the action plan, which will be ready in the first quarter of next year. So this is our next milestone. So this is not yet another document, but we need action plan, and this is the difference. We need to turn words into deeds, and I call all of you to invest in delivering the agenda together. So we want to see your project, your ideas in this action plan. I mean, the project which could be implemented, otherwise it's yet another document. After this meeting, we gather at the Union for Mediterranean Regional Forum. It's a very important organization. It has a unique convening power, and the Union for Mediterranean will be an important partner in the rollout of the Pact. Some of these actions of strategic interest will be expanded to other partners beyond the southern Mediterranean, for example, Mauritania. We are also speaking with Gulf countries, so they are neighbors of our neighbors, and they are also important for this. So this is a special day in our common undertaking. I'm really glad that we can launch the Pact today together. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Dubravka. And now I give the floor to the Foreign Minister of Spain, José Manuel Álvarez, please.
Thank you, Kaja.